If there is one sandwich that packs an umami punch, it's this Osso Buco sandwich. We twice cook this stuffed cut of beef till it's nice and tender, reduce down a rich sauce that coats the meat, pair it with a roasted garlic and bone marrow mayo and place it in a toasted ciabatta bun. It's beefy, unctuous and umami, a beef lover's delight.
Horns up and welcome to a brand new episode of the Headbangers Kitchen Sandwich Shop, my series where I show you how to make amazing sandwiches. Now if you love beef as much as I do, type moo in the comments below this video. And today we're making a beef sandwich that's a cut above the rest. We're making an Osso Buco sandwich. It is rich, meaty and delicious. Anyway, enough jibber jabber, let's get cooking.
We start with our Osso Buco, which is a beef or a veal shank. Normally you tie them around so they don't come apart while cooking, but that's not an issue for us, so I don't bother. I just season them with some rosemary salt I made and some fresh black pepper. Make sure to season on both sides. Now I get a pan on the stove and heat up some oil. Once that is smoking hot, I add my beef shanks and sear them. One of them starts to pop, which looks a bit scary, but I trust the process and just flip them over. Look at that lovely golden brown crust on the meat. Once the second side is seared as well and it's got good color on both sides, we remove them from the pan and set them aside. Then in goes some butter and some sliced red onions and we just saute that before deglazing with red wine. Then I add in some dried parsley, dried thyme, dried oregano and dried rosemary and give it all a good mix. Next I add in some humongous cloves of garlic which will eventually become part of our marrow and garlic mayo. Then we deglaze with some beef stock, bring it up to a rolling boil and get it off the heat. Into my instant pot goes the Osso Buco along with the onions and herbs and stock and garlic, and now we cook that in the instant pot on high pressure for about 55 minutes. Once that goes off, let the pressure release naturally for about 20 minutes and then pop the venting nozzle. Open up the instant pot and get the Osso Buco out. Now using a slotted spoon or a spider, just remove the beef shanks and set them aside. Also fish out that garlic and put it in a separate bowl. Pour out all the liquid into something and set it aside. Now remove the meat from the bones and also scoop out the marrow from the bone and add it to the bowl with the garlic. We're now going to mash the garlic and the bone marrow together till we get a nice paste. Then season with some salt, add some mayo and give it one final good mix and our bone marrow and slow cooked garlic mayo is ready. Take that beef stock or sauce, whatever you're calling it, and using a spoon scoop out all the fat from the top into another bowl. We want to remove as much of that fat as we can so that we get a nice luxurious sauce. You can also use this fat to cook other things in later. Once that is done, I get my pan back on the stove, add in that stock, bring it to a boil and then cook it down till it's reduced by half. Add in all the Osso Buco meat and keep reducing it till it becomes thick and sticky like a glaze and it coats the meat nicely. Now that is ready. Take your bread, and I am using ciabatta, slice it down the middle, drizzle with olive oil on both sides, and now I toast it in my cast iron pan. It's a pretty big sized bread, so I have to do one piece at a time. Toast it on both sides, and once you have a nice golden toasty color, remove it from the pan. Same thing with the next piece, toast, and when done, remove it from the pan. Time to assemble our sandwich, and I start by spreading that marrow and garlic mayo on both sides of the bread. Then put your Osso Buco meat, which is all sauced up, on that bread. Get some extra sauce if you like. Grate some nice cheddar on top of that, which will melt from the residual heat, and then cover and cut it down the middle. Oh man, that's one epic looking sandwich. Got a bite into it and damn, that's good. Those flavors are like umami bombs in your mouth. Oh yeah.
Alright guys, it's time to taste, and I gotta be honest, you already saw me tasting this and I am quite stuffed already, but I will have another bite and share my detailed, nuanced, critical feedback. So let's dig in. I mean, if you love beef, you're gonna love this sandwich. There's a rich beefy flavor, and that gravy that we made that coats the Osso Buco is so flavorful and so full of umami. The creaminess from the roasted garlic, the sweetness, that little cheesy hit, all of it works perfectly together. Honestly, I got nothing else to say. I've actually eaten quite a bit of food today, so this is going to be my dinner later on. And I'm going to go now, but I do hope you make this sandwich and let me know how it turns out. Anyway, till the next time I see you, cheers and keep cooking. A big thank you to everybody who supports me on Patreon and the YouTube channel memberships. You are all awesome. Horns up to you. And if you'd like to join this special Headbangers Kitchen inner circle and support us, well, the links are in the video description box just below this video. Anyway, the cow in the meadow goes moo, and the cow in the meadow goes moo, and the farmer grinds it up, and that's how you get hamburgers or something like that. If you remember this song, then hit that like button. Okay, bye. Awkward.